Hello dear students, welcome in another video lecture. So today we will talk about the classification of our phylum Chordata. Now here we will have certain divisions and subphylums, classes, etc. So we will see why the particular animal is included in particular category. So this is phylum Chordate. There are four characteristics of phylum Chordata. First is presence of notochord. Second, presence of nerve cord. Third is presence of gill slits. And finally, the presence of post-anal tail. So these are the four characteristics of phylum Chordata. That's why the animals bearing these four characters at any stage of life have been included in phylum Chordata. Up to this point, you people are clear. Now, why the division protochord is there and why the division vertebrate is there? Now we know that there is one of the characteristic feature of chordate is nerve cord. It is a tube like structure which is attached to the brain. In short, it is the part of our central nervous system. It's a hollow tube like structure and it is filled with certain type of fluid, and this fluid is spinal fluid, or we can say that cerebral fluid. Not spinal fluid will be the correct. In this division protochordate, the nerve cord remains nerve cord throughout the life of animal. But in case of vertebrate, this nerve cord is converted into spinal cord. That's why the division vertebrata, or we also call this division vertebrata as euchordates, means true chordates, are included. The animals included in this division vertebrata have the nerve cord converted into spinal cord. So, and in another we know that this protochordates. Now we are aware that our protochordate has division protochordate has two subphylum. First one is urochordate and another is cephalochordate. Now, urochordates means the notochord is present only in tail region, while in cephalochordates, notochord is extended from head to tail region. This point is also clear for you people. I have explained you in our previous lecture. Now here you can observe in division vertebrata there are two subphyla, Agnatha and Gnathostomata. So today I will only explain you Agnatha completely and what is the term Gnathostomata means. And in our next lecture we will see the rest of classification. Now, here you can observe this Agnatha. The subphyla of division vertebrata is first is Agnatha. What is meant by Agnatha now? It's the question. Now, okay, Agnatha. Gnathas means jaws, And I always say that whenever there is A, that stands for absence of something. So this term agnatha means absence of jaws. So the animals which does not have jaw are included in the subphyla agnatha. Hope you people are clear up to this point now. Let us come back here. Now in this agnatha we have one class only. Only one class is there, and this class is Cyclostomata. And this bears only one animal, one type of animal. So this Cyclostomata is one of the category which includes fishes only. So these fishes are jawless fishes. So agnatha, this agnatha has the class and it has the class Cyclostomata. Now this Cyclostomata means, or the jawless fishes, they don't have any skeletal system, not even cartilaginous or bony, and they don't bear jaws. That's why these are included in Cyclostomata. So the example of this Cyclostomata category is lamprey. I will show you the diagram of lamprey. So this is the lamprey. This is one type of fish which is thin and just slipper shaped, we can say. So it is like that, and here you can observe it does not have jaws. It has certain teeth, but it does not have any jaw. And this lamprey or Cyclostomata category is also called as round mouth animals, we can say. So they are having round mouth. That's why they are also or they are included in Cyclostomata. So this is the lamprey, a jawless fish. Now let us get back to our first slide, which has the another subphyla, that is Gnathostomata. Now here you can just classify them or compare them, as when I'm telling you that Gnatha means those jaws, so here absence of jaw is there, so we can conclude that animals, or you can easily understand that animals having jaws are included in Gnathostomata, which means that they bear a perfect jawline and jaws. They might be toothless or they bear tooth. So here I have one picture which has, here you can see these are jaws in this. So this is the upper jaw and this is the lower jaw. So hopefully you understand all the type up to right now in classification. So what is there? There is chordate, which is having different two divisions, protochordate and vertebrate. This protochordate also divided into two subphyla, urochordate and cephalochordate, on the basis of extension of notochord And here on the basis of nerve cord, these protochordate and chordates are divided, and these subphyla of vertebrata as Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Agnatha means toothless animals, and this includes Cyclostomata class, which is having round shaped mouth fishes, and Gnathostomata means jaw bearing animals. So up to here this is sufficient for today. Have a nice day.